It's Chris Allen. How you doing? Just thought I would hop on. We've got a tornado watch now in effect until 10 p.m. for all of the SAM listening area. That includes northern Middle Tennessee as well. Welcome to the SAM channel here on YouTube and Facebook, sponsored by Ace Hardware Marketplace. Ace is the place for NOAA weather radios, which we'll talk about during the course of this coverage. Thanks for coming in. I'll be able to see your chat in the chat room on both Facebook and YouTube. But keep in mind, once things start to get crazy, I will not be able to respond to everybody. So just keep that in mind. If you have something to report or whatever, then be sure and pass that along, and we'll do our best to acknowledge it. But once we start getting a flood of warnings here, and they're starting to pop back to the west, then this thing is going to be kind of crazy, and I will not have time to do that. You can hear in the background NOAA weather radio, and it's going through a list of some of the warnings in the background, and it is back to the west, and I'm going to zoom in on the radar. That's the majority of what I'm going to show. You don't need to see me, but I'm here. The picture you see above it is from my studio window at home, just so I can get a different perspective of what it looks like outside. So there it is. Seeing a lot more cloud cover now than we were seeing earlier, but my main focus right now is going to be on the radar. And so I want to show you that right now and go through what we're looking at here. You see all the red shaded counties all the way over to Columbia, Campbellsville, Lebanon, Springfield, Burkesville, even down in Middle Tennessee, including the Nashville area. So those of you listening or watching from northern Middle Tennessee, you are also under that tornado watch. And then we have a slew of severe thunderstorm warnings back to the west. Todd County now under one for, well, until 6 o'clock. Until 6 o'clock. That is Todd County, also Muhlenberg. You see there the information until 6 o'clock. Severe thunderstorms along a line extending from Farmersville to 7 miles northwest of Cadiz to near Canton, moving northeast at 65, 70-mile-per-hour wind gust and nickel-size hail is possible with that. So yeah, it's look at this line. I mean, it's very impressive. It has come together a lot earlier than what was anticipated, but still, nonetheless, we just need to be on our guard. Hopefully, everybody's got their weather radios turned on and ready to go for this, because we've been talking about it all day, and now we're starting to see evidence of this starting to come in now. Let me change color on that. I don't like that color. How about we go with I don't want it to clash. How about a purple? Magenta. Yeah, that looks better. Okay. So here is the leading edge of that line as it's pushing east. Now, some of this that we're seeing is actually pre-frontal. In other words, this is what we had hoped would not happen, and that is enough sunshine coming through today to prompt some of these thunderstorms from forming. But we had enough sunshine. The instability is there, and with that bit of sunshine, the gusty, I mean, we're at 83 degrees, folks. Let me see if I can throw on here the temperatures. And 83 was the last temperature I saw. Yeah, there it is. 83 in Bowling Green, 82 in Glasgow, 80 in Oak Grove, 81 Fort Campbell. I mean, that's just nuts. So this is turning out to be the warmest day of the year. You got the sun that broke through the clouds earlier. And now we've got explosive thunderstorms. And we do have this one tornado warning that is back. Let me see. Yeah, that's back into parts of northern Christian County and southern Hopkins County. Let me see the actual. Yeah, northwestern Christian, southeastern Caldwell, northern Trigg, and southeastern Hopkins County until 6 o'clock. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado located near Cobb, Kentucky, or 7 miles south of Princeton, moving northeast at 55. Now, it is radar indicated rotation, which means no one has actually seen the tornado, but we got to believe that there is something there that bears watching. And you see this this little curl here, and I'll investigate that a little bit closer. Let me stop the motion, and here we go with see that little S curve right there. That's exactly where the possible tornado is. Radar indicated, of course, as they mentioned here. Zoom in on that bad boy. So it looks like it's about to move into St. Charles, Amby, Daniel Boone. I didn't know there was a town called Daniel Boone over in This is Muhlenberg County. No, Hopkins County, Nortonville. You're right there. This is at the crossroads of I-69 and the Western Kentucky Parkway. White Plains is in there. You are definitely in the path of this possible tornado as it moves off to the north and east. Morton's Gap, Oak Hill, Nortonville, St. Charles, White Plains, Mount Carmel, all in the path of that possible tornado. I'm going to do a split screen. We'll take a look at velocity. Let me call up velocity here so we can. Let me get out of this and get out of that because it doesn't like me doing too much there. These storms contain very heavy rainfall and will be moving across areas that have received up to 3 inches of rain this is new radar software. I really haven't gotten to try it out until just now. Been practicing with it a little bit, but this I really like. It's you can see lightning strikes here. It's kind of hard from that radar vantage point. Let me change radars. Let me go to the Nashville radar. And that's some locations that will experience flash flooding include Hopkinsville, Madisonville. All right, now let's go up here and take a look. KDs, Edaville, Elkton, and Fort Campbell. Turn around. Don't drown when encountering flooded roads. Most flood deaths occur in vehicles. It's not really well. There's something right there. This is probably what they're looking at, right there. Just a lit. Yes. Now this is almost like when you you go to the doctor, they do an MRI, and you're like, "What am I looking at?" Or they're doing an ultrasound, and you're like, "What am I looking at?" And the doctor knows exactly where to look. It's right there. There's just a tiny little couplet, not big, but there could be just a brief spin up right there outside of the Pennyrile State Forest, moving northeast toward Mannington, and then eventually, off toward Morton's Gap and that area. So it's back a little bit embedded in a lot of rain. So that's the problem. You might not be able to see it because it's embedded in a lot of rain. So don't go out and try to find this thing. It's just you're better off just staying where you are. And I think that's it right there. Yeah, and now it's moved. See, it's even moved a little bit further north, weakened. There it is, just weakened a little bit. I am actually going to change. Um, change the color table to something a little more. May give me. There we go. Yeah, there we go. The red and the green, that's what you're used to seeing. Um, so like I said, I haven't been able to do a lot of I just got this a few days ago. It's called Radar Omega. You pay for it. It's pretty intuitive and pretty impressive for those of you that are weather geeks out there. So the only tornado warning that we have right now is the one that's in parts of um, Todd and Hopkins and Christian. Well, not Todd, but Christian and Hopkins, Trigg and Caldwell counties until 6. Now, if if I were you living in Morgantown in that vicinity, Hartford, Beaver Dam, you're about to get some of this, the leading edge of it. It's actually two pieces of energy which are going to kind of come together. There's piece number one, and then the Boeing segment, which is piece number two, which has the tornado warning in it that's going to head northward toward Nortonville. And then looks like it's going to go towards Central City and Greenville. So if you're in the path of those, you need to be just aware that that this is not a good situation. Okay. Hello, everybody. Just a couple of rules here before we keep going. Thank you to everybody that's in the chat room. We've got several dozen in here. I can't individually talk about individual towns or counties or do like live warnings that on especially social media. I mean, I will give them out and you'll hear them interrupt on your radio. If you're tuned to Sam 100.7, you'll hear while the music's playing, you'll hear that NOAA weather radio voice that's coming through right now break in with the tones, and then it will tell you what the bulletin is. But I can't be here to answer every single question. But as a warning comes out, then we will zoom in on radar to that area, and I will show you where it is on the radar and where it's going next, and hopefully that'll be the information that will be helpful to you. Um, Sarah's talking about so much for thinking it would weaken. Well, it's still going to weaken as it moves east, but right now it's not weakening at all, and that's of course a problem. Um, let me go. Let me go full screen. Okay, there we go. That's a little better. Um, yeah, so it is going to weaken. The atmosphere is humid, but now it's been heated up by the sun that's out there today, and that we've had to heat us up into the 80s. So that's, it's like a crazy, crazy thing to see that. Here we are, April 13th. And yeah, so it's got the fuel, but I still think some of this may weaken, but we're going to get some warnings. I'm just telling you right now, go ahead and prepare. We're going to get either at least some severe thunderstorm warnings, at least some flash flood warnings. And like we've seen back in Western Kentucky until 6 o'clock for about another 32 minutes, there's a tornado warning in the western part of the state. So, um, north of Mayfield, Sarah talking about reporting several power outages. That's Mayfield, gosh, again. But let me just say right here. All right, I'm going to go full screen just for a second, so that I mean this seriously. This situation, despite what you may have heard from other sources, is not December 10th. It is not that. Okay. So let me just tell you that right now. Here's a new flash flood warning. That's what that's for. Hopkins and Muhlenberg County, mostly heavy rain. That's actually a good sign because it's not a tornado warning. That means we're now getting into more of a flood situation.
Severe thunderstorm warning for
Oh,
Dixon County in Middle Tennessee,
that's Tennessee.
Montgomery County in Middle Tennessee, Stewart County in Middle Tennessee, Northwestern Cheatham County in Middle Tennessee, Houston County in Middle Tennessee, Northern Humphreys County in Middle Tennessee, Northwestern Robertson County in Middle Tennessee, until 6:15 p.m. Central Daylight Time. At 5:29 p.m. Central Daylight Time, severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from near Crofton to 7 miles southeast of Big Rock to 6 miles southeast of Springville, moving east at 55 miles per hour. Expected hazards.
So, severe thunderstorm warning. That's on the Kentucky-Tennessee border and affecting the Springfield, Tennessee area. And there it is. Oops, let me get out of
Locations impacted include Dixon, Waverly, Dover, Erin, Clark.
So, yeah, that takes in Dover, Clarksville, down to Dixon, Erin, Waverly, Tennessee. But you see that line, and again, that Boeing segment here is kind of sliding off to the north and east. What we've got to watch for is these little pop-up cells like that one right over Russellville, and some of these that are prompting the flood advisories and flash flood warnings for Muhlenberg County and northern Todd County. That's what we got to watch for, that's moving out ahead of the main system. So we get enough of that going on. Then here's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that as this line continues to push east, it will become less of a tornado threat and more of a what we call a just a stratus, just a big area of rain and thunderstorms. The winds have not been as bad today as we thought. We thought when the sun would come out, we would have some gusts of 40 to 50, but that has not materialized. That means the upper atmosphere winds have not mixed down to the ground as we thought they would. But, and this is a big but, as this line comes in, the leading edge of this is going to pack some very strong winds, possibly over 60 miles per hour, maybe even up to 70. And that is going to do some straight line wind damage, certainly as it passes on here. There you can see it. And this again is coming from the Hopkinsville radar. I want to go to the Nashville radar using velocity. Yeah. So here is the strongest part of the storm and where there still may be the possibility of a spin up. This little S curve, which is now past Mannington. Um, the worst part of the storm is now going through Nortonville. You can see the high reflectivity here coming toward the radar, and then the winds in the opposite direction coming out of the radar down to the radar and around it. The circulation is very broad here, so I don't. The tornado warning is certainly warranted, but whether it's going to continue to be that way, well, here's a new tornado warning now that's been extended to Muhlenberg and Christian counties. So, again, as I was saying, as that cell continues to move off to the northeast, they're going to extend the tornado warning now to include, and here's Muhlenberg County. You're also under a flash flood warning, but Greenville, Central City, here comes trouble to your west along I-69, Western Kentucky Parkway, 62 as it goes into Greenville and then goes up into Central City, and there is the new warning.
Paducah has issued a tornado warning for Muhlenberg County in south central Kentucky, northeastern Christian County in south central Kentucky, northeastern Todd County in south central Kentucky, until 6:15 p.m. Central Daylight Time. At 5:33 p.m. Central Daylight Time, severe thunderstorms capable of producing both tornadoes and extensive straight-line wind damage were located over Crofton, or 12 miles Hopkinsville, moving northeast at 50 miles per hour. Expected hazards include tornado. This is a radar-indicated threat. The following impacts are expected. Flying debris will be dangerous to those caught without shelter. Mobile homes will be damaged or destroyed. Damage to roofs, windows, and vehicles will occur. Tree damage is likely. These dangerous storms will be near. We are around 5:50 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Other locations in the path of this tornadic thunderstorm include Greenville, Powderly, and Dunmore. This includes the following highways: Western Kentucky Parkway between mile markers 58 and 65. Penny Route Parkway between mile markers 17 and 24. Take cover now. Move to a basement or an interior room on the lowest floor of a sturdy building. Avoid windows. If you are outdoors, in a mobile home, or in a vehicle, move to the closest substantial shelter and protect yourself from flying debris.
So what they're looking at here is right here at the what we call the apex of the storm. Right in here is where the possible tornado. It's not been confirmed. Again, this is radar indicated tornado that could be moving from Crofton. It'll move across Kentucky 189 into the Apex community, then Bancroft, and then over toward 181, which, as you know, comes up out of Todd County, out of Elkton, and goes up into Greenville, where 62 meets up with it. It looks like it could just maybe go south of Greenville. Here's Greenville right here, Powderly at the top of your screen, and taking in that new tornado warning. Again, for portions of Christian, a sliver of Todd, northern Todd County, and a good portion of central and southern Muhlenberg County. And that particular warning is going to go until 7:30. Let me get the exact read on this. In fact, I'll show it to you so you can see it as well. And this is another reason why I like this new radar system. It will allow you to pop these things up and read the warnings as they come out. Again, this is a radar indicated warning, not a public or surface indication that there's a warning or a tornado. The tornado warning in effect for Muhlenberg County, northeastern Christian, northeastern Todd until 6:15 at 5:33 just a few minutes ago. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing both tornadoes and extensive straight line wind damage located over Crofton or 12 miles north of Hopkinsville, and it's moving northeast at 50. Um, so you get um, you get the idea that they haven't necessarily tagged. Well, they have tagged it as a possible tornado or the hazard being a tornado, although no tornado has been indicated at the moment. But here's the thing: you've got to whoa. Now that's showing some interesting returns there. Let me see that again. Yeah, that's there may be a little what we call range folding in the radar, and I know that's a technical term that it's like what is that? Well, it's kind of like when you get radar, so many radar returns and they overlap each other and then it will blank out a section of the data and the algorithms as they come in. And that's where we could be seeing that. But if if this area right here, White Plains, Mount Carmel down that area to Apex stays together, that could be something in the form of a tornado there. So that's kind of a little bit concerning. All right, let me switch back here to the regular radar. And in that same area is what I'm talking about. See that? You've got this notch right over White Plains, and then that notch, and then the line. So somewhere in this general area is where we're seeing the possibility of a tornado, and it's right there with two warnings that are going on. In fact, this is all kind of right over the corner of Hopkins, Christian, and Todd County. Well, not Todd, but Christian counties and Muhlenberg, and it's all moving off to the north and east at 50 miles per hour. So that's why they're issuing that warning. And look at the lightning strikes that are showing up now with that. We've got a cluster of lightning strikes. That's always kind of a red flag in these kind of situations. In these Boeing Echo segments that are not just individual supercells, just one here or there popping up like popcorn. When you get these line segments and you get them bowing out like that, just like that right there, that is an indication that the winds are coming from the upper winds are coming down to the ground and they're pushing out in one direction. And that's what causes that bow in the line segment. And in that, you can have surface winds at one direction, and then you could have mid to upper level winds coming in another direction, and they cross. And at the very leading edge of that line, that Boeing segment is where you could have a possible spin up tornado. It may not last long, but there could be something there. And I think that's kind of what we're looking at here. We're certainly not looking at a supercell situation. This is a line echo segment that at the leading edge of it has got a gust of wind, 60, 70 miles per hour, and maybe doing some straight line wind damage, or there could be maybe an embedded tornado in there somewhere. Now, for those of you that live east of these tornado warnings, places like Morgantown, get ready. You're about to get hit with that first little line that you see there of thunderstorms. And those are not severe, but you're starting to get a dark sky and see some lightning. You're going to get some heavy rain. Same thing for Hartford, Beaver Dam in that area, up 231 and up 165 as you head into Ohio County, the Livermore area. You get up toward Calhoun, McLean County, Sacramento, Rockport, Bremen, Central City, Greenville, as we talked about. And here comes a new tornado warning that is going to be for portions of McLean and Muhlenberg counties. So here we go. And this is going to be on the northern edge of that I just showed you.
The National Weather Service in Paducah has issued a tornado warning for northwestern Muhlenberg County in south central Kentucky, southeastern McLean County in northwestern Kentucky until 6:15 p.m. Central Daylight Time. At 5:42 p.m. Central Daylight Time, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Madisonville, moving northeast at 65 miles per hour. Expected hazards include tornado. This is a radar-indicated threat. The following impacts are expected. Flying debris will be dangerous to those caught without shelter. Mobile homes will be damaged or destroyed. Damage to roofs, windows, and vehicles will occur. Tree damage is likely. This dangerous storm will be near Central City around 5:55 p.m. Central Daylight Time.
Yeah.
Livermore around 6 p.m. Central
There it
Daylight
is.
Time. This includes Western Kentucky Parkway between mile markers 44 and 64. Take cover now. Move to a basement or an interior room on the lowest floor of a sturdy building. Avoid windows. If you are outdoors, in a mobile home, or in a vehicle, move to the closest substantial shelter and protect yourself from flying debris.
Okay, Greenville, it looks like it's going to miss you as it goes north and east. But there it is that you just saw the polygon, that red polygon pop up there, the map shape polygon for that new warning. And this is starting to show some really bright indications of circulation. And by bright, I mean the reflectivity is starting to become a lot more defined. But it's still a very broad rotation. I'm not seeing really tightness here. Although again, it could be where we're dealing with some radar artifacts, and maybe it's not just putting things on there that it should. It may not be seeing everything. There could be this overlapping or you know stuff going on. I'll call them artifacts because it's just noise that's in there. But I mean, there's something there that is a clear indication, at least to the National Weather Service, that there could be a tornado. Graham down to DePoy, there's 62. Here's Graham right off the Parkway. Um, New Cypress, and this is going toward Nebo, and then Powderly. You may be in line with that. I think Greenville, you may be able to escape that as it's moving off to the northeast at about 50. But Mercer, Powderly, Nebo, Moorhead, and Central City. If you're in Central City, even South Carrollton, um, you should just go ahead and seek shelter right now because this is a possible tornado, and indications are here, at least with some of the velocity, that we may have something. No public reports yet, but anyway, here it is. Tornado warning for northwestern Muhlenberg and southeastern McLean County until 6:15. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado near Madisonville moving northeast. It's already way past Madisonville now. And look, it's picked up. Look at this. Moving northeast, not 50, not 60, but 65 miles per hour. That thing is booking, just like you'd go down the interstate. Radar indicated rotation. That's what we're seeing on the radar right now. So yeah, boy, it has picked up some forward momentum big time. A lot of these storms were going at 50. Now it's at 65 miles per hour. Nebo, it's right over you. Let me, I'm going to send a message right now to, I've got, folks, I was actually supposed to be at church this evening mixing audio, which I do on Wednesday nights and Sundays at Hillview, and I'm not there because I'm here. So I've got one of our pastors who's texting me like, what should we do? Um, so I'm telling him they have a plan, but he wants to know at what point they should stop service and go to the children's building. The children's building at Hillview has a big basement area built for storms and things like that. Uh, so I'm going to tell him wait until warning. Or I am I am on YouTube and Facebook right now covering it. So there you go. Behind the scenes real time. Hey, this is the way I love to do stuff. Nothing formal here. You see, I got my VU meter T-shirt on. Radio. This is radio. So hey, here comes a new warning. This one is going to be for Grayson County for it's a severe thunderstorm, not a tornado, which is good.
Police in Louisville has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for northwestern Logan County in south central Kentucky, southeastern Hancock County in central Kentucky, Butler County in south central Kentucky, western Grayson County in central Kentucky, Ohio County in central Kentucky, until 6:30 p.m. Central Daylight Time. At 5:48 p.m. Central Daylight Time, severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from 6 miles northwest of Central City to near Ware, moving northeast at 60 miles per hour. Expected hazards include 70 miles per hour wind gusts and penny-sized hail. This is a radar-indicated threat. The following impacts are expected. Expect considerable tree damage. Damage is likely to mobile homes, roofs, and outbuildings. Severe thunderstorms will be near Hartford around 6:05 p.m. Central Daylight Time. A tornado watch remains in effect until 10 p.m. Central Daylight Time for central and south central Kentucky. For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. A tornado watch remains in effect until 10 p.m. Central Daylight Time for central and south central Kentucky.
Okay. So you're hearing this is what's go. You just heard it over the weather radio, which is a little faster than what is coming through the EAS system um, that is on the radio. So the radio people just heard it. Um, okay, I'm just getting messages from different people, but here is the tornado warning and then the new severe thunderstorm warning, which takes in a lot of territory. Beaver Dam, Hartford, Ohio County, parts of McLean County, down to northern Butler County, including Morgantown. And by the way, I am going to be in Morgantown this Friday, noon to 2, at the Ace Hardware there on 231. You come into Morgantown, you get up to the square, and you do that left-hand turn at the square, the courthouse, go down the street a little bit as you're heading toward the river, toward Aberdeen. There's the Ace Hardware. I'll be there Friday, noon to 2, to hopefully you will buy a weather radio. And it sounds just like what you just heard. Continuous weather, 24 hours a day, even when there's no bad weather going on. And it will warn you with that tone, those tones that are just like, oh. And I know a lot of people hate those, but it's to get your attention so you know what's going on. Here's the cool thing about those. I can program them for the particular area that you live in, and you won't have to hear it go off all the time. You'll only hear it going off when there's an actual emergency or warning or storm or tornado or flood in your area. That's the key. So it's not going off all the time. That's what people hate about them. But the new technology allows these to just do so much more. And I can pinpoint the exact location, or at least the area in which you live in. And you don't have to listen to everybody else's warning 50 miles away. The rest of the time, you won't even know it's there. It's that great. So the first of many locations to come, Morgantown, you're first this Friday, noon to 2, Ace Hardware. And you see our live coverage is now sponsored by Ace Hardware Marketplace because Ace is the place for NOAA weather radios. From now on, we're going to be partnering with them and making sure people get weather radios. All right, let's look again inside the storms as they come. Here's Bowling Green. We're just seeing a few isolated showers in the area. We'll just do a little radar tour here so you can see what's going on. And again, like I showed you, this is live from my house, looking at the street in front of me and apartments over there and all that. Um, the skies are getting darker after some sun has been out for a while. So, yeah, it's starting to get a little bit more in the way of cloudy. Let me go back to here, expand that, and there we go. so you can see both. So if you're just joining us and you're wondering what that is, that's I've got a camera set up at home at my home studio looking out at the sky, and then I'm here at Sam. Obviously, you can see that behind me. Um, Now, individual, I see a lot of folks in here in the chat room. Um, the Colleen is asking about when is it going to get the Bowling Green? I would say within the next hour, hour and a half. This is arriving a lot sooner than was first anticipated. So it's almost 6 o'clock now. I said earlier today it's going to be closer to 7. I think that's going to stay on course. When we first started this, or uh, first looked at this potential severe weather for today, a day or so ago, it looked like it was going to come in later, like closer to 8, 9, 10 o'clock. But now it's coming a lot faster, and so that's actually good. So we don't have to fool with this during the middle of the night. For crying out loud, we've been there. Remember, we've done that. December 10th and 11th, 1:20 in the morning. Boom. We don't want that anymore. So this is at least coming when some of you are just now getting home. It's in the evening hours. You can deal with this. Your family's still up. You're still up and about, and so this is actually good, and it is expected to weaken as it continues to move to the east. So this is not going to be anything. I don't know if I can emphasize this enough. It's not going to be anything close to December 10th or 11th. It is not. Okay. The tornado threat is gradually going to go down as this cold front pushes in here and moves to the east. It is not going to be that. It is going to be much weaker than that, although some wind damage certainly is possible with some of these storms. So let's continue our radar tour. Hopkinsville, they're all just rain now. They've already had that stuff blow through. Trenton getting it, and that's right where you see that donut hole right there. That is the actual radar site. They credit it to Hopkinsville, but it's actually at Fort Campbell. It's what they call the DOD, Department of Defense, Fort Campbell, 101st Airborne designated Doppler radar. Okay, that's what you're looking at. Elkton getting strong thunderstorms right now, Sharon Grove, all the way up to Clifty, Tywapity, and then you get that tornado warning over the Greenville area. But this is becoming more linear and less about those little blips that I was showing you before. Let's do a little investigation into into Greenville. Yeah, see, this is becoming more and when I say linear, the key word there is line. Yeah, there you said there's a new update. This is clearly becoming a more of a line with damaging straight line wind potential than it is tornado potential. And that gives me at least some hope that we may not have to deal with tornado warnings as it gets closer to Bowling Green and the I-65 area. If we can keep it on this kind of a downward gradient here, you see the line passing through the Drakesboro area. There's probably some damaging wind going on right now. Central City, Drakesboro, Cleaton, down to Beachmont, Penrod, Rosewood, all that Muhlenberg County, as you're under that tornado warning. South Carrollton, South Carrollton. That was one of the places that got hit hard back December 10th and 11th. I remember going through there a few days afterwards in South Carrollton, right here, railroad tracks, and just seeing uh, train cars just tossed everywhere. And that's only a few miles north of Central City. I mean, devastation, big time. But it looks like it's just kind of blown through there, not necessarily in the form of a tornado, but I think The Weather Service is just being extra cautious here. They don't like to falsely warn for these kind of things like a tornado, of course, but they're just wanting you to get in your shelter just in case there is a spin up, during as that line is moving off to the north and northeast. You can see how fast it's moving. And again, as I alluded to a few minutes ago, that line is moving at 65 miles per hour. Just imagine you're going down the road 65 miles per hour. That's how fast this is moving off to the north and east. So Rockport, you're right in the thick of it, about to get hit. McHenry, and then Simmons as you head up 62 and 169, or 165, I should say, and 62 and the Western Kentucky Parkway. Right, and then as it meets up with 231, that exit there, where there's the Hucks Island in the middle of the parkways and Interstate 165, Beaver Dam, Hartford area. You're next in line to get hit with that. So if you're listening or watching, maybe the Hucks is a good place to go. At least you'll have some shelter there. If this thing is a tornado, but right now I'm not getting reports of an actual tornado. This is looking more like just straight line damaging winds. I'll get even closer for you. I can get down to street level, whatever you want. So here it is, the strongest winds from I don't know how to Sarajevo. I'm not even sure. I've never heard of that. But Rockport I've heard of. Martwick, this is 62. Here's Central City to help you find your bearings. 431 going north into South Carrollton. South Carrollton, you're okay. Central City, you're okay now. Powderly's okay. Drakesboro, it just passed through your area. So here's 62 and the Western Kentucky Parkway into Rockport. And then Kenwy, 19. There's 62 as it goes into McHenry. There's Beaver Dam and there's Hartford. And here's where 165, the Natcher, meets up with the Western Kentucky Parkway at Rob Roy. And then right in there in the middle, in fact, can we see the Hucks? Well, it's right there. It's right there. That's where the interstate splits apart and you can see the Hucks. But there's some potentially damaging wind going on right there. So, but this is the main line to watch here as it's going through Rockport, soon to be in Centertown, McHenry, Beaver Dam, Hartford, on down to Paradise, where the Paradise plant is now different. Drakesboro, it's already past you. Rochester, now we're looking into the Butler County area. Be aware, Rochester on up to Prentice, and eventually, even though some of these areas like Morgantown, you've already got something. That was with the first line, which is out here to your east now. But this is the second line as it's going to come through and maybe cause some potential wind damage. The best news I can tell you right now is that I'm not seeing any new tornado warnings. We have these warnings which are going to expire very shortly. This one over Muhlenberg County will expire in 12 minutes, and then the one to the north of it in 11 minutes. So we're talking about 15 after um, 6 here is when we're going to see those disappear. Then we have the severe thunderstorm warning that encompasses a good chunk of Butler County, does not take in Warren County. Here's Bowling Green down here in the bottom right-hand corner. Here's Butler County, Morgantown, Aberdeen, Welch's Creek. Then you go up into parts of Ohio County, Beaver Dam, McHenry area, Caneyville. Yeah, it's just right to the Grayson County line. Right there is 62 and the Western Kentucky Parkway come in. That's the severe thunderstorm warning that is still in effect. And you're just getting a lot of just general winds and maybe some thunderstorms putting down some pretty good rainfall. Let me go back to the reflectivity. And there you see it's nothing really severe. Your severe thunderstorm warning is an anticipation of this that's coming from your west out of Butler County or moving in, excuse me, to Butler County, coming out of Muhlenberg County and out of Ohio County. So all of that is headed right toward the Natcher or Interstate 165, and eventually is going to move into Ohio County and into Butler County. Um, right now, Bowling Green, we're just seeing a couple of little showers popping up. These are not severe, so we're not concerned about those right now. Let me give you a bigger picture of what we're looking at here. Now, I can tell you this. As you can see, I don't have to really tell you, but look how far back the rain goes. The rain, I mean, uh, it is just a big shield of rain that is back to the west, and we do have some flood advisories, flood warnings back in western Kentucky. Yeah, there's flash flood warnings, flash flood warnings. There's a bunch of those back to the west, and that's because of this just continual downpours of rain. Actually, we don't, we don't want flooding either, but it's going to be one or the other. It's going to be we take the more severe storms and risk of tornadoes, or we can transition into more of a flood or heavy rain type of event, and that's where it's going. And that's why I said earlier, if we get this weakening as it was expected to do, um, then this will turn into more of a heavy rain with some rumbles of thunder event and less about tornadoes. Hopefully, we can hope for the best here because I don't want it. As I mentioned earlier, this is nothing like what we had December 10th and 11th. Nothing. This is not even close. We've got a few warnings here, and some of these tornado warnings will eventually, I think, just downgrade to severe thunderstorm warnings as we continue to push off to the east. All right, let me look at some more. Thank you to everybody in the YouTube and Facebook chat rooms commenting. Um, let's see here. Storms coming through Elton. Yeah, look pretty nasty. That is from A to Gal. Okay. Um, let's see. Damaging winds. Sarah saying damaging winds doesn't sound fun, especially for a person who has 20-plus-year-old trees next to the house. They've already proven their branches can do significant damage. Anyway, we can push this away from Bowling Green. Well, I think if all of us here, the 135 or 150 plus viewers, if we all just got together and just kind of made a wall, you know, maybe. All right, let's see. Severe thunderstorm warning. Grayson, Logan.
The National Weather Service in Louisville has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for Logan County in south central
And
Kentucky,
Warren.
Simpson County in south central Kentucky, western Allen County in south central
Allen.
Kentucky, southeastern Butler County in south central Kentucky, western Warren County in south central Kentucky until 6:45 p.m. Central Daylight Time. At 6:07 p.m. Central Daylight Time, severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from 8 miles southeast of Denver to near Guthrie, moving northeast at 65 miles per hour. Expected hazards include 70 miles per hour wind gusts and penny-sized hail. This is a radar-indicated threat. The following impacts are expected. Expect considerable tree damage. Damage is likely to mobile homes, roofs, and outbuildings. Severe thunderstorms will be near Russellville around 6:25 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Other locations in the path of these severe thunderstorms include Memphis Junction, Bowling Green, and Tressmuir. A tornado watch remains in effect until 10 p.m. Central Daylight Time for south central Kentucky. For For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. A tornado watch remains in effect until 10 p.m. Central Daylight Time for South Central Kentucky.
All right. So, as you hear, that's being broadcast now at SAM 100.7. So, alerting our listeners on the radio what's coming our direction. If this were a tornado warning, I would have broken in on SAM 100.7 and done continuous coverage. But since this is a severe thunderstorm warning, then we're just going to let that ride on the radio where you can still hear the music, but you get, as you just saw and you just heard, if you leave your radio on SAM 100.7, you will get instant weather service bulletins. It'll interrupt a song, it'll interrupt a commercial. And if it's happening in the morning, it'll interrupt my show. And I'm okay with that. Hey, it's about life-saving information. That's what this is all about. So I'm taking my 30 plus years experience and in partnership with the National Weather Service, in partnership with Ace Hardware, to bring all of this information to you on Facebook and YouTube, and if need be on the radio at bowlinggreensam.com, on the TuneIn app. I mean, we have all kinds of ways for you to stay up to date on the weather. And we've got the technology. I've got radars as good as I had on when I was on TV. I mean, in some cases, kind of better. And I can show you just like I did on TV, down to street level, down to where a tornado is spinning up, and all of it. You can see that. And so, um, all of that was good for then. This is a new chapter. This is now. This is here and now, and this is why we're doing what we're doing. We want this to become the destination for you in severe weather. You know, I'm going to be. I don't care what time it is. Yeah, I got to get up in the morning and be here, but I don't care. This is me. Okay, so there you go. All right, severe thunderstorm morning, as you see. Again, this is until 6:45. Let me show you the written copy so you can read along with me. Severe thunderstorm warning, Logan, all of Logan County, all of Simpson County, western Allen County, so from Franklin west, southeastern Butler, and western Warren County, so west of Interstate 65, from Bowling Green west over toward the Browning area, Rockfield, that direction, toward Auburn. You're under the severe thunderstorm warning until 6:45, so the next 37 minutes or so. Severe thunderstorms located in a line from 8 miles southwest of Dunmore to near Guthrie. And there we go. There's that fast forward movement. Northeast at 65 miles per hour. They are booking 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts are possible with penny-size hail. Wow. So here it comes. Let's clear this, get a refresh, and there it gets. Lewisburg up 431. You're getting it. Chandler's Chapel, Russellville, you're next. Russellville, you're getting some light rain right now, but you're about to get hammered. So is Adairville as you go down 431 south. As you head out toward Corinth and Chaco, Auburn, you know what we're getting over Warren County, Plum Springs up toward the river. It's that none of that is to be worried about. It is this line, and I'm seeing another little bowing out right here. Um, Let me do a closer inspection on that one. Yeah, that's probably throwing down some hail. Some of these purple markers start to show up around Rochester. That's an indication of hail coming down. Let's see what this is.
The National Weather Service in Nashville has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for central Davidson County in Middle Tennessee, northern Dixon County in Middle Tennessee, eastern Montgomery County in Middle Tennessee, Sumner County in Middle Tennessee, Cheatham County in Middle Tennessee, Robertson County in Middle Tennessee until 7
So that's for the southern end of this line that's coming through now through Logan County. And so they're going to put out a bunch of severe thunderstorm warnings out for northern Middle Tennessee for those. But again, I'll tell you, the good news out of this, even though you're going under a severe thunderstorm warning, the good news is it's a severe thunderstorm warning and not a tornado warning. That's not to say there's not going to be one, but at least it gives us some hope that maybe this is starting to weaken. Although this part of it, the northern part of it, from Beaver Dam, McHenry to Cromwell, right there's just about to cross Interstate 165 or the Natcher. See that right there into Butler County. Rochester's getting it hit hard. That's probably the strongest right there where you see some of that purple magenta color. There's probably some decent hail that is coming down with that on the leading edge. You know what I'm not seeing much of? Let me zoom out and make sure. Okay, there's a little bit of lightning. A little bit of lightning up there toward Rochester, Schultztown, Highview, Cool Springs, Wysox, and that's on the Muhlenberg County side, just as you cross the river into Butler County. Because Rochester, the river runs right through there. So there's a little bit of lightning, not much, very heavy rain, very gusty winds, but there also may be some hail thrown in. And I'm not seeing the gate to gate, what we call the gate to gate shear, the reds and the greens tightening, coming together very tight. I'm not seeing that, which in this base velocity or high res velocity mode of the radar would indicate a possible tornado. But what I am seeing with these brighter shade of colors here is an indication that we've got winds coming down to the ground. I mean, just really starting to pound the area. And some of those winds, as indicated by the warnings, may be hitting the ground with a pretty good force, 60 to 70 miles per hour. And with the rains we've already had, and then the additional rain coming in, plus those kind of winds, you may get some trees down. You may get some power outages. I'm just saying. In that kind of a situation, it doesn't take a tornado. It just takes very strong winds to come in and do something like that. Okay. But I'm not seeing here with this reflectivity, the high res velocity scope, inbound, outbound winds. I'm not seeing anything that would indicate a spin up along the line, although that's still possible. Not saying it's not a possibility. It certainly is, given the kind of atmosphere that we have over the area, but at least this is some good news. Looks like Chandler's Chapel, you're about to get it. You're probably hearing rumbles of thunder, seeing that dark sky to your west. Russellville getting heavy rain right now in a dark sky. Auburn, you're going to be next as you travel up 6880 towards South Union, then eventually the Browning community, Rockfield, and into Bowling Green here in a little bit. As we're coming up on 618, it may get here before 7, the way it's moving, because it has picked up that forward speed. It started out, these were moving east at about 50. Now they're moving east at 65 miles per hour and then producing winds that could be as strong as that. But this line, as I look at it, and you can even, all right, let's focus on Lewisburg. You see that right there, Lewisburg. Let's all, our eyes focus on Lewisburg. So watch the last 7 frames as they start from west and go to east, just like that. Now, focus on where there's red or even some purple showing up. Notice it's there and then not there. There's less deep reds and more orangey, yellow looking, just rain. Once that leading edge passes by your house, all you're going to get from here on out is rain. You're not going to get any more severe. The severe weather threat will be over for you. You may get a rumble of thunder, and you see back here that rain really, it's all the way back in the boot heel of Missouri. So this is going to be much of the evening tonight. But at least it's come early enough to where we can deal with it and not have to be woke up in the middle of the night with big tornadoes. That's not going to happen with this. Once we get this leading edge now moving into Morgantown, that's where the strongest of the storms is right now, Morgantown and Butler County. Hopefully, you're just kind of in your shelter mode just in case. You're not under a tornado warning, you're under a severe thunderstorm warning, but it has wind damage potential with it. Wind gust up to 70 possible. So, Morgantown, you should be just waiting for that gust of wind, and then it's over. Then all you're going to get after that is a bunch of rain and maybe some rumbles of thunder. But once this leading edge gets past you, you're done with the severe weather. Okay. So hopefully that offers you some good news in that regard, that once we get past that initial wave, that first line, that initial line coming through, then we should be okay. Just reading a few notes here. Okay, all right, acknowledge that. Let's go to the chat room here and see what you guys are chiming in. I'm sorry, well, there's so much to keep up with here that, and this is not even a, really bad situation, not as bad as, December 10th and 11th, not even close. But it still warrants everybody just kind of staying on guard here for a little bit longer. Sarah is saying, Chris, what's the chance now of getting a tornado warning for Bowling Green now that we've got a severe thunderstorm? Really, it doesn't matter. I mean, if this thing should, as it's coming through, um, enough of a spin as the line comes in, we could transfer over to a tornado warning. Just because we get a severe thunderstorm warning doesn't mean we're not going to get a tornado warning. That is still possible. So never look at that as, oh, that severe thunder. It is, as I mentioned earlier, at least it's not a tornado warning. At least this is not anything close to December 10th or 11th, but you still need to be on guard and you still need to be in a sheltered area just in case. Okay. Wind picking up in Scottsville. Amanda, thank you. Starting to rain in Woodburn, Sarah saying. Um, are there more, Leslie, are there more coming through in the night tonight? No. Um, we, as I just mentioned, let me go back to radar here so you can see what we're looking at. Once this initial line comes through, that is the severe weather threat. Behind it is just rain. Just rain. Maybe a little bit of thunder occasionally, but it's just going to rain a bunch. And then it's over. So, this is the main concern right now, moving into Morgantown, the worst of the weather, right along I 165, the Nashville. Morgantown, Aberdeen, 231, going through the Eden community. Aberdeen, as you cross the river from Morgantown to Aberdeen, now getting the worst. Woodbury, you're next. Needmore, you're next. Dunbar's getting it. Quality's getting it. Dimple, Leetown. And then here's Warren County and the river. Woodbury, of course, Riverside, the Rockland community. Again, 231 as it follows 165 or the Natcher going north. That line is moving in as we speak. It's going to be here in the Bowling Green area within a matter of minutes. I say give it 15 to 20 minutes. Winds, thankfully, have not been that bad. We're looking at gusts of 15 to 20. Occasionally, there have been some gusts over 30, but with this line, with this part of the storm, there is likely to be a gust of wind at the very beginning that could be upwards of 50, 60, maybe 70 miles per hour, which can do some wind damage. It's not going to stay that way. Okay. The winds are not going to stay that rough. It's mostly on the leading edge of that line, now moving into Auburn, now moving into Chandler's Chapel and Gasper River, now about to move into South Union, Rockfield. Um, yes, there is a tornado watch until 10, but I got a feeling once this line moves through, they'll start shaving off counties out of the tornado watch to our west and then work their way east because this is it. This is it right here. I mean, as you can see, everything is pretty much done back behind it. Yeah, there's some flood warnings and stuff going on in Missouri, but that's from earlier today where they had severe weather. And look at the temperature. St. Louis has dropped to the mid 40s, while out ahead of the colder air, it's in the 50s and 60s. And of course, we're still reading 81 degrees here in Bowling Green, making it the warmest day of 2022. Mark it down, April 13th, warmest day of the year so far, which is helping to fuel these thunderstorms, but it's actually a cold front being the forcing factor for these storms. And yes, the heat did help, and we had a few hours of sun, but overall, this thing is weakening as it moves off to the east, which is certainly good news. We're still under the gun here, still under severe thunderstorm warnings, and we're still under the threat of some damaging wind. Right now, the winds are rough around the. Oh, okay. Like I mentioned, tornadoes are not out of the possibility. Tornado warning for Grayson, Butler. Let's listen.
Nashville has issued a tornado warning for north central Butler County in south central Kentucky, western Grayson County in central Kentucky, east central Ohio County in central Kentucky until 7 p.m. Central Daylight Time. At 6:26 p.m. Central Daylight Time, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado
Could
is
be this
located
right
9
here.
miles east of Hartford, moving northeast at 60 miles per hour. Expected hazards include tornadoes. This is a radar-indicated threat. The following impacts are expected. Flying debris will be dangerous to those caught without shelter. Mobile homes will be damaged or destroyed. Damage to roofs, windows, and vehicles will occur. Tree damage is likely. This tornadic thunderstorm will remain over mainly rural areas of north central Butler, western Grayson, and east central Ohio counties, including the following locations: Horse Branch, Step, Tussey, Windy Hill, Canayville, Flint Springs, Dustop, Neathis, Pine Knob, and Black Rock. Take cover now. Move to a basement or an interior room on the lowest floor of a sturdy building. Avoid windows. If you are outdoors, in a mobile home, or in a vehicle, move to the closest substantial shelter and protect yourself from flying debris.
All right. So there's the tornado warning. See, you could get a spin up, just as I was saying a few minutes ago. That prompts a tornado warning. That doesn't mean there is one, but you should seek shelter if you live in north central Butler County, western Grayson County, and east central Ohio County. Possible tornado until 7 o'clock. So 30 minutes from now, severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado 9 miles east of Hartford, moving northeast at 60. So it's still moving pretty quickly. Flying debris possible with, of course, the damaging winds coming in. Places including are in the path of this: Horse Branch, Steph, Towsey, Windy Hill, Caneyville, Flint Springs, Do Stop, Nephis, Pine Knob, and Black Rock. are all in the path of this possible tornado. Now, from what I saw back a couple of frames ago, let me see if I can back it up just a little. Okay, let me try that differently. But anyway, um, here is that couplet. It's not very tight, but tight enough. There's another little one right there from Mount Pleasant to Horton, and this would be um, on the Butler County side, Muhlenberg County, Ohio County. This is Ohio County. Here's Butler County, and here is Grayson County. You see Concord, Short Creek, Pine Knob. There's Caneyville, 62, and then the Western Kentucky Parkway. So all of that is giving me an indication that we could be looking at, and here's a different perspective on the velocity. Yeah, there's something there. Now, whether it's a tornado on the ground, don't know. But it is an indication at least that we've got a tightening that's going on there just north of the Western Kentucky Parkway around the Renfro area, moving toward Horse Branch and US 62. Here's an update on that tornado warning.
The National Weather Service in Louisville has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for Butler County in south central Kentucky, Grayson County in central Kentucky, Warren County in south central Kentucky, southwestern Hardin County in central Kentucky, Breckinridge County in central Kentucky, eastern Ohio County in central Kentucky, Edmonson County in south central Kentucky until 8:15 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time or 7:15 p.m. Central Daylight Time. At 7:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time or 6:30 p.m. Central Daylight Time, severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from 8 miles southeast of Hartsville to 10 miles northwest of Crestmere, moving northeast at 60 miles per hour. Expected hazards include 70 miles per hour wind gusts and penny-sized hail. This is a radar-indicated threat. The following impacts are expected. Expect considerable tree damage. Damage is likely to mobile homes, roofs, and outbuildings. Locations impacted include Litchfield. A tornado watch remains in effect until 11 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time or 10 p.m. Central Daylight Time for South Central and Central Kentucky. For your protection.
Okay, so what they've done is they've kind of done a blanket thunderstorm warning, which actually does take in this tornado warning. But I am seeing here something that does give me a bit of a pause, as to where it's tight. The tight couplet, you see the red and the green right along 62 from White Run down to Steph, and then moving in toward Dew Stop and Spring Lick. This is west of Caneyville. So there's 62. Here is the Western Kentucky Parkway to the south. So this is as you go this is the Ohio County line and Grayson County. Grayson County is here. Ohio County is here. You see how that is all moving pretty quickly to the east. Possible tornado with this one. I'm going to say just because that couplet looks tight in that general, it's overall, it's a broad rotation, but there's that tightness right there. I'll have to wait until we get another scan. That to me is a trouble spot. And there very well could be a tornado right there moving northeast toward Jugville and Highway 736. If it stays on that present track, it would come close to Pine Knob. So, tornado warning, certainly for Grayson County, north central Butler, western Grayson, and east central Ohio. counties until 7 o'clock. Oh, just got an updated scan, folks. Look at that. Broad from this radar vantage point, which is Louisville's radar, but in there right over the staff community and then even down here toward Nephis and the Parkway, possible embedded spins going on there. And it's wrapped in a lot of rain. So um, you're not going to be able to see this. So if you're in western Grayson County, you need to seek shelter right now. This is a possible tornado, radar indicated tornado, moving toward Caneyville, Spring Lick, Do Stop, Smithview, Pine Knob, Post, anywhere along US 62 or the Western Kentucky Parkway. I think you're okay down here closer to the southern end of 79. Once you get south of the Parkway, you're okay because this is moving off to the northeast at about 60 miles per hour. But man, there could be something going on there. Let me try this. Hmm. Okay, this is a different product. It's called the correlation coefficient. And again, another one of those technical terms of meteorology, um, where we can see all of this pink area is rain. But where we start to see some of these little blue places show up, maybe some debris, but it's just too hard to tell for sure. I can't tell for sure. Really. I don't want to lead you on to something that might be there or not be there, but there could be something there. I'm just saying again around the Steph community along 62, headed toward Stop, Spring Lick, Smithview, Caneyville, Pine Knob, and Jugville, and along 736, Kentucky 736. Possible tornado just given all of the things that I'm looking at right now. Okay, it's moving fast. It's over Caneyville now. Look how fast that moved. The possible rotation, it's a bit broad, but it's still there and it's right over Caneyville. So if you're in the Caneyville area, if you're okay, everything looks okay, you're not under, as soon as the threat passes, give me an idea, an update in the chat room, either on Facebook or YouTube. Get in there and just give me a report. Trees down, look like a tornado, or whatever. Just let me know what's going on because I think this is important enough. Now the couplet, that area is weakening a bit as it moves off to the northeast, but still bears watching. Caneyville, right under the gun right now for a possible tornado. We go back to reflectivity. Yeah, and that's where one of the notches here's where we have a notch. Look at that. We've got one there, then an S curve right over Caneyville where a possible spin up could happen. And there's another one just south of there, and then it's mostly a more linear as it's going through the Butler County area, moving into Edmonson County, and eventually, these little notches like this, that's where drier air is trying to work into the storm in a different direction enough to cause it to maybe rotate. You've got winds to the west coming down to the ground, pushing that line forward, but then you've got these dry air slots pushing a different direction. And so that naturally, along this line, as it moves east, it can do a brief spin up of a tornado that usually doesn't last long, may not even reach the ground, could do a little bit of damage, but this is, again, nothing like December 10th or 11th. Just to calm some of your fears out there. Okay? Get a drink as the mouth is getting dry. Okay, let's see if anybody is chiming in here. Yeah, the sky is getting dark over Bowling Green. The rain is about to move in. You can see it there on the live camera at my house. Um, Getting reports, big storm in Big Reedy in Edmonson County. Yeah, it's blowing through there, about to blow through Bowling Green. Let me see who else is chiming in. Winds in Woodburn, things turn quiet, windy, very scary. Quickly, heavy rain off Russellville Road. Um, but again, if you're up in the Caneyville area or Grayson County, Western Grayson County, I really would love to hear from you when it's safe to do so. Now the winds are picking up here. Oh my goodness. Let me check outside just a second. I'm hearing stuff kind of batting around out here. Yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh yeah. We're getting it here at our studios on Campbell Lane. The winds, I would say, are probably 50 miles per hour, maybe close to 60. And the clouds do look threatening. I'll tell you that. They do look threatening. You can see little appendages kind of hanging down, but they're not rotating, which is good. Excuse me, good news. And that's what I look for. And as we go back to radar, I want to make sure that let's check on the latest in Caneyville with that tornado warning. Well, that couplet is still there and headed toward Millwood and Black Rock. Yeah, that's new tornado warning, Grayson and Butler and Ohio counties. Here we go.
The National Weather Service in Louisville has issued a tornado warning for northwestern Hart County in central Kentucky, northeastern Butler County in south central Kentucky, southern Grayson County in central Kentucky, south central Hardin County in central Kentucky, northwestern Edmonson County in south central Kentucky until 8:15 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time or 7:15 p.m. Central Daylight Time. At 7:41 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time or 6:41 p.m. Central Daylight Time, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located 9 miles southwest of Litchfield, moving east at 45 miles per hour.
There it is.
Expected hazards include tornado. This is a radar-indicated threat. The following impacts are expected. Flying debris will be dangerous to those caught without shelter. Mobile homes will be damaged or destroyed. Damage to roofs, windows, and vehicles will occur. Tree damage is likely. This tornadic thunderstorm will remain over mainly rural areas of northwestern Hart, northeastern Butler, southern Grayson, south central Hardin, and northwestern Edmonson counties, including the following locations: Rock Creek, Caneyville, Broad Ford, Onia, Sadler, Sunfish, Black Rock, Lacken, Priceville, and Millerstown. Take cover now. Move to a basement or an interior room on the lowest floor of a sturdy building. Avoid windows. If you are outdoors, in a mobile home, or in a vehicle, move to the closest substantial shelter and protect yourself from
Okay. So here we go. The newest tornado warning. Boy, I mean it's coming down here on Campbell Lane and headed east. Tornado warning for northwestern Hart, northeastern Butler, southern Grayson, south central Hardin, and northwestern Edmonson County until 7:15 Central. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado. Located 9 miles south of Litchfield, moving east at 45. Locations include Rock Creek, Caneyville, Broadford, Peonia, Sadler, Sunfish, Black Rock, Lacon. I always get that wrong. It's where the camp is. Lacon, like bacon. Priceville and Millerstown. Okay. So we've established that, boy, it is raining hard here in Bowling Green at our studios. Okay, so this takes in even all the way over to Hart County, as you can see, and Hardin County, because it is all of this is kind of rotating like that off to the north and northeast. So it's doing kind of a swing here. Um, but it is that area that I was concerned about moving through the Millwood area and moving toward Litchfield. If you're in Litchfield, or even if you're down toward Shrewsbury, I'm seeing a little bit of a couplet there too. There's the updated frame along 187 north of Shrewsbury, in between Millwood, Black Rock, and Shrewsbury into Grayson County. Here's Litchfield. Now, Litchfield, you're getting some artifacts. That's not a tornado, but you're getting some activity right now. It's not tornado type activity, but south of you is where it's rough and a possible tornado. So that tornado warning takes in a lot of territory just in case, because that storm is moving northeast at 60 to 65 miles per hour, and it is packing a punch. I can tell you right now, even in here in Bowling Green, it is packing a punch. Let's go back to regular radar. Yeah, there's a rumble of thunder too, but I'm not seeing anything really suspect here. The worst of this line is going to be up here where these tornado warnings are, right here. Caneyville, Litchfield, southern Hardin County, Breckenridge County, even southern tip. All of this is going to move toward E-Town, Litchfield, Magnolia, Bonneville, Munfordville, Brownsville, even getting some pretty good weather right now and moving in toward the Mammoth Cave area. Change radar locations here. Wow, just really, really heavy rain going on here. You may be able to hear it. I mean, it's really just pouring. So Bowling Green, you're getting the worst of it right now, and once this passes to your east, you're done with the severe weather threat. You're done. Richardsville, you're already done with it. I can let you in the clear. Lewisburg, Russellville, Elkton, Drakesboro, Greenville, Central City, Hartford, Beaver Dam. You're all in the clear. It's just a lot of heavy rain back to the west of you. As you can see, no longer a severe weather threat back here to the west. And the counties that are still under a tornado watch until 10, that doesn't mean it's going to go until 10, because this is arriving early. It's all going to be over with pretty quickly. It's not going to go all the way into the night and be an overnight thing. You see the counties here still under the tornado watch for a while longer until 10 o'clock, as you see here. But I think they're going to shave off some of those counties eventually from the watch. There's the severe thunderstorm warning, as it's still. All right, here's another tornado warning. It's about to come out north of here. This is going to be north, I think, north of Litchfield. We'll hear it come through here in a minute. And it's right on the leading edge of that Boeing segment right there. That's where the trouble spot is. Drier air working in south and east of Litchfield, and then upper winds coming down to the ground back to the west, forcing this thing eastward. And you get that little bit of a spin in the atmosphere that may cause a possible tornado. Now, it did look like over Caneyville and over toward Millwood, the Steph community do stop along 62. Those areas look like it may something could have been there, but I'm not getting any reports of anything that indicates a tornado. Getting a report from Andrew in our chat room about 600 are without power in Grayson County. I would say that's very likely. Um, let's see. Catherine in Millerstown. Millerstown is in Hardin County. I'll show you Millerstown. Here is Hardin County. There's a new warning.
The National Weather Service in Louisville has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for Simpson County in south central Kentucky, Allen County in south central Kentucky, southern Warren County in south central Kentucky, western Barron County in south central Kentucky until 7:30 p.m. Central Daylight Time. At 6:43 p.m. Central Daylight Time, severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from Plum Springs to near Portland, moving east at 60 miles per hour. Expected hazards include 70 miles per hour wind gusts and penny-sized hail. This is a radar-indicated threat. The following impacts are expected. Expect considerable tree damage. Damage is likely to mobile homes, roofs, and outbuildings. Severe thunderstorms will be near Bowling Green and Mount Victor around 6:50 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Other locations in the path of these severe thunderstorms include Scottsville. A tornado watch remains in effect until 10 p.m. Central Daylight Time for South Central Kentucky. For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building.
Okay, that's a severe thunderstorm watch severe thunderstorm warning for the southern edge of this. So let me go back to and respond to Catherine. I think it was Catherine. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, Catherine in Millerstown. She was wondering about how far away the storms are from her. There's Millerstown. Here are the storms 11 and a half miles to your west. So it will be there very soon. You're under the tornado warning, just barely. Um, as this moves into Grayson Springs, Clarkson, Skagstown, Rock Creek, Black Rock, Lone Oak, and then Millerstown is right here. And you see it's getting closer now to you. Let me do an update. And it looks like it's now positioned about 9.5 miles, almost 3/4 miles to your west. So it's going to be on you here in a little bit. Not saying it is a tornado, but you're in the path of where that tornado warning is. That possible tornado right there at that S curve. That's the best way I can describe it. I don't use very technical terms because you don't know them. I know a lot of them, but it doesn't do me any good to say them if you're like, what is he talking about? But you see there, that's like the letter S. And it's usually right in here at that, what we call the apex, or where that S curve is usually where there's going to be a spin up of a tornado if there's going to be one. Dry air working in, causing that slot, and then the very wet, moist air with the damaging wind threat on the backside. And so that causes a brief spin in the atmosphere. Whether that spin makes it down to the ground or not remains to be seen. Okay. So it's just because we have a tornado warning here doesn't mean you're going to get a tornado, but you should behave like you are. You should seek shelter, get in a bathroom, get in the tub, get in a shower, get in a closet, someplace away from outside walls and windows. Even if your bathroom is next to an outside wall or window, it's best just to get in the shower or tub. You're going to be okay there. Or a basement. That's going to be the best, of course. But that's the area of concern right now, and that's the reason why they have the tornado warning. It's about to move. It's moving through Peonia right now, and Grayson Springs and Clarkson is getting it. So is Muda Deer as you head toward the Nolan Lake area, and eventually Snap and Wax and Hilltop. All of that is around the Nolan Lake area. So just be cautious through those areas as we continue to see this moving east. Let's go to velocity. And yeah, we have a lot of these little areas of concern along the line. This one here moving toward Horntown, Fragrant, Rock Creek. There's another one up here north that's not in a warning. That's in, I think that would be Hardin County. Yeah, it would be Hardin County around the Summit area and just east of Big Clifty. Just had a good lightning bolt and a rumble of thunder here at our studios on Campbell Lane, but um, the worst of the severe weather has blown through Bowling Green. That gust of wind and now the heavy rain, all of that now pushing east. So Bowling Green, you're out of initially the severe weather threat, even though for a few more minutes we're still under a severe thunderstorm warning. The concern is right now with what we're seeing on the radar with this tornado warning for portions of Grayson County, including Litchfield and Clarkson and Grayson Springs, moving toward Lone Oak, the Hilltop community, Broadford, Wax, down toward Nolan River Lake, Millerstown, Spurrier, eventually into Seven Corners, Flint Hill, White Mills as you head up into Hardin County and Sonora, which then would put it over Interstate 65 and 31W. But I can tell you that the worst of the weather down here across Bowling Green has very much subsided. Although we're still getting a lot of heavy rain right now. Let's look at the velocity here. Yeah, some rumbles of thunder. I'm not seeing anything suspect here. This is just a change in the wind. The worst of the winds are now blowing through Smiths Grove and Oakland, according to the high res velocity on radar. You see that? That's a little suspect, but not enough for me to, you know, raise a red flag that there might be something there. The weather service, of course, is watching that to see if it becomes something else. But now Bowling Green and West, you're out of the woods as far as severe weather, even though this severe thunderstorm warning is going to continue for 32 more minutes. And the severe thunderstorm warning up closer to Mammoth Cave area, Edmonson County, parts of Grayson, a little sliver of Warren for the next 17 minutes. So, say north of Bowling Green, 17 more minutes under the severe thunderstorm warning, south of Bowling Green for another 30 minutes, give or take. And now it's just a lot of heavy rain. Yeah. See, this is becoming more about heavy rain and less about tornadoes. Even though we still have a couple, we have that one warning. You see that? That one lone tornado warning. And that's where we're getting that little bit of a curvature, that S curve where we're getting some slotting going on, a little bit of dry air trying to wrap around the moist air from the backside of this as it moves east. But eventually it's going to go up into more Hardin County and LaRue County toward Hodgenville, toward E-Town, Bardstown, and Nelson County and all that area eventually here in the next 30 minutes to an hour. Let's see what it's doing at home. Oh, yeah, it's raining good now. Again, for those of you just joining me or wasn't here when I explained this view, this is a camera that I have in my home studio where I can do weather from there. I do a lot of radio stuff from there. Not my show. I just do some radio stuff from there. I do my morning weather updates that you can see on YouTube and Facebook, just like you're watching this. And it's all sponsored by Ace Hardware. I do those every morning from this location, that location you see there. And I'm looking from my house across the street. There's some apartments and some woods and stuff there. But you see the rain that's coming down. That's a live view from my house. So just to give you a little perspective, an outside shot. I was waiting for maybe some lightning, but I'm not seeing any. In this shot, there's very little lightning. There's some clustered around where we see some of that activity up toward the Grayson County area. We're seeing some lightning clustering up with that. But other than that, I'm not seeing. Oh, there was some. There was a little flash, but I'm not seeing all that much as this line comes through. Kim is saying it's hitting here out of on Old Green Hill Road. That's out toward the Alvaton Cemetery Road area. Angie saying the wind was rocking when it came through Morgantown area. Jason is saying, hope this misses Bonneville. Well, it probably will not. Here's a new severe thunderstorm warning for Grayson and Hardin.
Service in Louisville has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for western Nelson County in central Kentucky, southeastern Meade County in central Kentucky, Greene County in central Kentucky, LaRue County in central Kentucky, Hart County in central Kentucky, eastern Grayson County in central Kentucky, Hardin County in central Kentucky, southern Bullitt County in central Kentucky, northern Barron County in south central Kentucky, northwestern Metcalfe County in south central Kentucky, eastern Edmonson County in south central Kentucky until 8:45 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time or 7:45 p.m. Central Daylight Time. At 8:01 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time or 7:01 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from 8 miles northwest of Elizabethtown to 11 miles east of Plum Springs, moving northeast at 65 miles per hour. Expected hazards include 70 miles per hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. This is a radar-indicated threat. The following impacts are expected. Hail damage to vehicles is expected. Expect considerable tree damage. Wind damage is also likely to mobile homes, roofs, and outbuildings. Severe thunderstorms will be near Elizabethtown around 8:05 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Other locations in the path of these severe thunderstorms include Three Springs and Greensburg. A tornado watch remains in effect until 11 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time or 10 p.m. Central Daylight Time for South Central and Central Kentucky. For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building.
All right, a pretty big area that's under that new severe thunderstorm warning. I mean, they just kind of blanket carpeted this area from Shepherdsville to Radcliffe, Hardin, Nelson. There's almost to Bardstown, E-Town, Hardin County, Hodgenville, LaRue County, New Haven to Magnolia, down to Greensburg and Greene County. It misses Taylor County, but Taylor County, go ahead, Campbellsville area, you may want to just go ahead and prepare because it's coming your way as well. Sonora, Bonneville, someone was asking a while ago about, is it going to hit Bonneville? Yes. And in just a few minutes. And pretty much the worst of the storm is going to come through Bonneville in northern Hart County. Munfordville is going to get it. Horse Cave, Cave City, Park City starting to get it already. The Mammoth Cave area, Brownsville. The worst of it is now east of you. So now all you're going to get is some gusty wind and heavy rain, an occasional lightning strike, and rumbles of thunder. This is going to be the kind of rumbling thunder that rumbles for, it feels like, forever, and kind of shakes everything. That is indicative of heavy rainfall. So now we kind of flip the script here, going from less of a tornado, severe thunderstorm threat to the west of I 65 to more of a heavy rain threat and maybe some flash flooding. There are some flash flood warnings back to the west. Um, for Hopkins, this is until 8 o'clock. Hopkins, Christian, Muhlenberg, Todd, Caldwell, Lyon, and Trigg counties. Heavy rain, flash flooding caused by thunderstorms. Expected rainfall rates up to 1 inch per hour in those areas. And it's still coming down, as you can see. Um, I mean, a big, big area is under that flash flood warning. Much of the Hopkinsville area to Eddyville, back to Benton, Kentucky, Russellville, Greenville, Central City, all of that under that flash flood warning. But you see, all of that is just rain. It's not severe weather. There's no severe thunderstorm warnings, no tornado warnings. After the initial line passes you, it's all going to be about rain. But the initial line is coming through now, just came through Bowling Green, as I mentioned. Scottsville, you're about to get it. Smiths Grove getting it right now. Park City, you're about to get it. The Barron River Lake area just now getting some of the worst of the storms. Glasgow, you're next. You're next in line to get this line of strong to severe storms. Glasgow proper is not under a severe thunderstorm warning, but it wouldn't surprise me if you get one. But it does look like the southern end of this is weakening a bit. And I still see some general weakening as this moves off to the east, except for this one problematic area up toward Millerstown that's getting some of the worst of it. Barron River Lake's getting it right now, all the way up to Big Windy, Cub Run, Bonneville, Millerstown, Hilltop, White Mills. Then you cross over 62 into southern Grayson County and then Hardin County, 62 into E-Town. E-Town's about to get hit with some very hefty rain and wind. And here again is that S curve. That is the only really severe area on the entire map. Everything else is just very heavy rain, gusty winds, some lightning and thunder. I'm not getting a lot of reports of damage, although there might be a few in some places. I haven't had time to go through every little detail that the Weather Service is putting out as far as damage reports. But it's right here from Star Mills, Eastview, White Mills, towards Sonora, down to Bonneville. That S curve, as we get this dry notch moving in, and then the very heavy rains and the gusty winds moving out, and it is right in there that you may be seeing a brief spin. But again, that's not a guarantee. Let's go to the velocity, see if we can see anything that's suspect here. Much of this is artifacts. I don't see anything. I mean, there's a lot of wind certainly going on here, but as far as being a tight couplet, I do not see that. Let me go change radars, go to the Louisville radar, and we go south toward that same area. Yeah, there are several places along that. Here again is that S curve, and it's right in there that we potentially see, you know, yeah, that's kind of nasty. Let me redraw that. There's a couple of little suspect areas here. Um, here's one here, another one sort of in here. And you see all these kind of down through here, just kind of, but they're not very organized. They're just probably some spin in the atmosphere that's trying to get going, but is not organized enough to really produce a tornado. But Sonora, I would be on guard. Certainly, Bonneville, Vento community, 6531W. Now there's a fresh update. Let's see if they extend the tornado warning out toward Hodgenville, Glendale Junction. If this is going to go over into LaRue County, that will tell us a lot. But um, no, they are not. You just saw that come down. They must agree that this is not showing indication of additional tornado threat, which is fantastic if that's the case. Most of this now, as you see up from, this is from the Louisville radar, from Louisville all the way down to Lebanon Junction, 65 south to E-Town, and all the way down into Hart County. Now, most of this is just straight line winds, less of the bowing out that we had earlier that was causing that spin. So we have just a severe thunderstorm warning that is going to continue until 7:45 for western Nelson, southeastern Meade, Greene County, all of Greene County, LaRue County, Hart County, eastern Grayson, Hardin, southern Bullitt, northern Barron, northeastern Metcalf, and eastern Edmondson until 7:45. So another 30 minutes for this severe thunderstorm warning that I just showed you that extends all the way down into almost the Glasgow area. But a lot of what I'm seeing here is not tightening couplets or spins or rotation. There may be some, but it's very disorganized now. And this is where the weakening is going to come in with this system, which is good. Notice it's not as notchy, it's not as S curvy as it was earlier. There's still a little bit right around the Bonneville area. There's still a little bit of a nose there. Um, but nothing that's a red flag. And overall, this is weakening. Good news. Finally, we're seeing some weakening. They've taken down the tornado warning. So there are no tornado warnings anywhere close to us. It's all severe thunderstorm warnings. Let's see. I'm not seeing any new reports. There's one other place I'd like to check first. And I'm not going away. I'm staying here, so don't worry. I'm not. For those of you that live east of us, you're still under a severe thunderstorm threat. So we'll keep this going uh, until the warnings go away. We're not just concerned about Bowling Green. Um, the SAM listening area takes in a lot of territory. Takes in about the same coverage area as BKO, about 18. 19 counties or so, maybe 20. Let me see. Let me go to, I'm going to check a few reports, maybe some reports of damage. I do want to remind everybody again that our coverage here on the Sam channel, Facebook, YouTube, is all presented by Ace Hardware, sponsored by Ace Hardware Marketplace. Ace is the place for NOAA weather radios, which you've been hearing go off all evening during this severe weather event, and I want you to have one. Yes, they do cost $40 and some change, give or take. Um, but I want to make sure I'm going to go to every Ace Hardware store over the next 8 to 10 weeks and be there to sell and program NOAA weather radios for you. So once we get, we've got some days and dates and times and locations set up already. I'm going to make a list of those, but I can tell you the first one is this Friday from noon until 2 at the Ace Hardware store in Morgantown. That's on WGS Smith Street, which is literally 231 down from the square. So you go into Morgantown. If you're coming off the Parkway, go into Morgantown on 231. You go right there to the courthouse, downtown Morgantown, and you make a left. That 231 makes a little dog leg to the left. You go down the street almost to the river, and you'll see Ace Hardware. And that's where I will be Friday from noon until 2 p.m. To sell and program NOAA weather radios. And again, they're all about $40 a piece, give or take some change. And I'll personally program it.
Service in Nashville has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for Davidson County in Middle Tennessee, Eastern Dixon County in Middle Tennessee.
Okay, that's more.
Southwestern Sumner County in Middle Tennessee.
Yeah, that's all down toward the Nashville area. Let's show Glasgow here because Glasgow, you're about to get pretty good storm here.
At 7:16 p.m. Central Daylight Time, severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from 7 miles north of Dixon to near Burns to Centerville, moving east at 65 miles
And
per
Nashville's
hour.
got another one of those. See that S curve?
70 miles per hour.
Dixon down to Centerville,
This is a radar
and then a little leg out ahead of it.
The
That's
following impacts are
there's
expected.
Nashville,
Expect
just in case you're
considerable tree
wondering.
damage.
But I want to go up here to Glasgow because you're about to get some very heavy rain, and there is a little tiny notch north of Glasgow up toward Goodnight as you travel up 31E. A little bit of a notch there, and then a little bit of forcing outward here.
This includes the following highways.
Little suspect, but not enough to red flag it. Very heavy rain south of Glasgow toward the lake, Finney, Red Cross, Berry Store, Beckton, Haywood. As you travel down 31 East South, here's the Cumberland Parkway, Bon Air, and then going into Edmondson and Warren County. So Glasgow, I know you're probably feeling the winds right now, and yeah, you're getting some rough winds at the moment. Currently, your temperature is at 77, and so the worst of the weather now moving into the Glasgow area. All right, trying to get some storm reports here. I'm just curious to see if there have been a number of reports of wind damage And of course, you get that from the National Weather Service. So let me see what we've got here. Um, I'm not really. I mean, there's some. There's a few reports of some wind damage in a few areas, but nothing that really stands out. Um, let's see what I can find here. You can either go filtered or unfiltered. Let's go with unfiltered, so that way we get a little bit of everything. A new flood advisory now for Grayson, Butler, Breckenridge, all up in those areas that um, have been getting some of the worst of the weather. Yeah. Okay, let me get out of this. So, that's still looking pretty hefty up there toward Hodgenville. That's where the severe thunderstorm warning continues. Some bowing out there from south of E Town to Hodgenville to Buffalo to Magnolia. That's 31E down to Hammondville, Canmer, Hardyville, and Hart County. The Uno community. Okay, so there's a new tornado warning on that Boeing segment into Hodgenville, and that's going to go into Bardstown. That's a new tornado warning for Nelson County. That's the Bardstown area, northwestern Greene. So the northeastern part of Greene County, that would be north of Greensburg. So from about 61 north up towards Somerville and points northeast, we've got a lot of listeners there in Greene County. LaRue County, Hodgenville, obviously, northwestern Marion County, northeastern Hart. It is going to take in that little chip of northeastern Hart County and west central Washington until 7:45. So for the next 15 to 20 minutes, tornado warning, severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado near Hodgenville, moving northeast at 65. Quarter size hail certainly possible with that. And there you see that. I mean, it just takes in just a little tiny piece of Hart County and just a little tiny piece of extreme northern Greene County, that little notch there around places like Mount Sherman, Wards, as you head into Buffalo, Jericho. That's where the tornado warning is. Hodgenville certainly is about to get hit with a possible tornado. We'll stop motion here. We'll check that real quick. I want to see the velocity. Yeah, the suspect area here is going to be north of Magnolia. Wow, it's moving quick. You just saw it. Moved quickly. Magnolia now, you're in the clear, but it is areas north and east, right here around the Buffalo community, is where it's suspect. Jericho, then Leafdale. I would say it will cross 31E north, Hardstown, and this is getting on over into Nelson County. So, but that's starting to get away from the SAM 100.7 listening area, but still want to give you some coverage on that in case you're watching and you need to seek shelter. Certainly in Buffalo, you need to be at your shelter, Hodgenville, Howardstown, Ginseng, Jericho, Stiles, Wards, Mount Sherman, Magnolia. You're in the clear from this. It's already past you. Uh, Again, not that many reports. Most of the reports that have come in for Kentucky have been trees down in Christian County. A tree fell on a house with people trapped. That was earlier this evening in the Gracie community. Dawson Springs in Hopkins County, which was hard hit December 10th with the tornadoes, some trees down, some construction debris on both sides of the highway. Sacramento, that's in McLean County. 3-inch tree limbs broken, some power outages. Providence in Simpson County had a wind gust of 58 miles per hour. And in Home Valley in Hardin, Kentucky, Hardin County, 63 mile per hour wind gusts. So those are really the only reports that I've had or that have come in from the Weather Service. And no confirmed tornadoes. All of these have been radar indicated because of these little couplets, like you're seeing right there over the Buffalo community, moving out of Hardin County into LaRue County. But other than that, we've not had anything that's really indicating a tornado anywhere. Let's see if I can. Yeah, here I go. I knew there was another way to do this. All right. Let's see if something shows up here. See, they're shaving off. Let me turn the radar off just a second. Okay. Um, they've shaved off the entire western half of Kentucky out of the tornado watch. The kind of pink reddish red shaded areas. Still the tornado watch remains until 10, but look for that to be shaved off here shortly because the worst of the storms are now east of us. And that's where all of the severe weather is, as you can see. It's all on the leading edge, Bardstown to Hodgenville to Buffalo, now moving into Nelson County, in that Marion County, in that direction. And then down around the Nashville area, all of that's going to move east and weaken. There's no tornado warnings there. It's all severe thunderstorm warnings. All of this in the green back to the west is flash flood warnings. So everything west of Bowling Green is now turning over to heavy rain. No more severe weather. No more severe thunderstorms. No more tornado threat from Bowling Green west. And really, you could say Glasgow, E Town now, down to Lafayette, Scottsville, Tompkinsville. Still maybe, well, Glasgow's getting it right now. Let me turn the radar back on so you can see that. But if some of you want to leave the coverage, I mean, when you need to do so because, um, as you can see, it's just all rain back here. It's just rain. And the really nasty stuff is down around Nashville. There's more rain to come. And any tornado warnings are up here toward Hodgenville, New Haven, into Loretto as you're going that way, and then Bardstown. And that's it. The rest of it is severe thunderstorm warning. So if you're in Greensburg, get ready. You're going to get some strong thunderstorms moving in. I don't see anything suspect here. There's Glasgow, you're getting some heavy rain. Your temperature is at 74 right now after being at 83 before the rains hit. Edmonton, you're about to get hit as well. They're in Metcalfe County. Everybody in Metcalfe County is going to get hit already. Knoblick up to Center, over to Echo, Wisdom, right along 6880, the Cumberland Parkway. You're getting hit right now. Eventually, Nobob, Summershade, Etoile, Mount Herman, south end of the lake down toward Fountain Run. It's coming your way, but not as rough, not as heavy rain, and not as heavy wind, but rain, some rumbles of thunder. Eventually, Tompkinsville, you're going to get some of this, but it doesn't look severe. Then it's just going to keep on trudging off to the east. This is the cold front. Eventually, it's going to pass on Burkesville, Columbia, you'll get it. Then Albany, Gamale, you're all going to get this. You're all in line to get this. Um, let's see. Any updates? Sarah in Woodburn said she got some serious blinding rain and wind, but not much else. Brian saying some big wind in Glasgow. Sarah saying that there are lots of tree reports coming from Bowling Green. Well, that's to be expected with that. The beginning of that line as it came through here. Uh, yeah, certainly so. There's the home place. Now the sky looks really, ominous, but it's just rain. The severe weather's over. This is Bowling Green. Again, this is a shot from my house looking out on the street in front of me and the apartment complexes over across from me. And yeah, it looks threatening. It's raining, occasionally a rumble of thunder, but there's not much else going on. So once that initial blow gets by you, I mean that the wind just blows and you think, "Oh, the window's going to come out and it's really bad and it rains really hard and some lightning and thunder." But then a few minutes later, it's done. And then all you get is just a steady rain with an occasional rumble of thunder. Your severe weather threat is over for the night, over. It's done. So any of you that have experienced that already, you're welcome to enjoy the rest of your night and go to bed or whatever you want to do because it's done for you. The only place it's not done is Edmonton, Greensburg, southern tip of Barron County, Tompkinsville. Scottsville's getting some light scattered occasional heavier rain, but notice it's more disorganized down here on this southern tip in Allen County. You're not under a warning. Then on down to Portland, Tennessee, not bad there, Sumner County. Your warnings are gone. Robertson County, down 65 to Nashville. Now in Nashville, there's where another bad part of the storm is, another piece of energy there, where they have severe thunderstorm warnings, but no tornado warnings. This is all a good sign. Okay. So I want to let you guys know, there's some flash flood warnings back west of us, but other than that, all of this back here, none of that is severe. It's just a lot of rain. Occasionally, you'll hear a rumble of thunder and see a flash of lightning, and then it just keeps raining. And it may rain for a while. Let's see how far back this rain goes while we've got no really big warnings going on anywhere around us. Tap into the Paducah radar. Yeah. Now, this is the actual cold front, but by the time it's over Cape Girardeau, Missouri right now, but by the time it gets to us, it's just going to be rain. You could maybe hear a rumble of thunder with that as it blows through. Notice temperatures are falling into the 40s back behind the front. I think I can throw on. Where is it? Let me see if it will do it. Oh, yeah, it did. That's why I love this thing. Okay, there's the front. It's moving through St. Louis right now. And back behind it, temperatures are dropping into the 40s, even some upper 30s. There's the low pressure system, which is almost to Springfield, Missouri. There's St. Louis. Here's Carbondale, Cape Girardeau, Missouri. There's Paducah. Lots of rain, what we call stratus rains, just kind of a blanket, little trough. That's what those little broken lines are, keeping it wet back to the west until the main front comes through. That'll be later tonight. But as far as the severe weather threat, the only thing we have left is up here now moving out of New Haven and Hodgenville into Nelson County and the Bardstown area. That's where a tornado warning continues for 9 more minutes. Then it's done. Okay. So that's really getting out of our area. Wisdom, you're getting a lot of rain. Edmonton, Noblick, 88 as you travel down Highway 90. And then when you join 163 to go to Tompkinsville, there's some showers there, but the heavier rain is up here 6880 and the Cumberland Parkway. Slick Rock over to Wisdom, heavy rain there, and now moving into Edmonton in Metcalfe County. But none of this is looking wacky or, like it's going to turn tornadic. I can't make a guarantee on that, but just the way this is behaving, you got to look at storm behavior. And the way this is behaving, it's starting to just be a heavy rain thunderstorm event, less of a tornado threat. You're going to get a lot of rain for several hours now as this continues to move off to the east. Okay. Debbie's seeing the wind starting to kick up in summer shade. That's in Metcalfe County. So that makes sense. Let's see if any more reports are coming in. Not really. So this has been kind of a noisy. It's noisy and windy, threatening for a few minutes, and then it just goes to kind of all rain. Okay. So I think that's where we are now. The worst of the weather is moving out of the Sam 100.7 listening area. And I see that viewership has dropped way down now that we've gotten past that initial line. So I think I'm going to let it go here unless there are any objections out there. Say so now. I don't want to leave anybody hanging, but I also don't want to be here all night for, if it's just going to rain, it's just going to keep raining. Thunderstorms, it's not going to be the severe stuff. Um, Marcy is saying it's finally subsiding here where she lives in Caneyville. But she's saying there was a report of a possible tornado, Rabbit Flat Road in Caneyville. And that was when I showed you earlier, when I had the radar zoomed in and you could see the rotating winds going right over Caneyville and then running up 62 toward Milltown or Millwood, excuse me, in Grayson County. That was about an hour ago or so. So the Weather Service will look at those areas that are suspect and determine if it was a tornado or if it was damaging winds. They will do that. There's also a report from Marcy up there in Caneyville that several people are without power in the Caneyville area. So, um, this is why I implore you to get a weather radio. And again, big thanks to our sponsor, Ace Hardware Marketplace. Ace is the place for the helpful hardware folks. Yes. I still remember when they used to say Ace is the place with the helpful hardware man, but now you can't say that. That shows how old I am. Ace is the place for NOAA weather radios from now on. And starting this Friday, I'm going to start what I call the Weather Radio Tour. And I will be in Morgantown at the Ace Hardware on 231 this Friday, noon to 2. So if you're anywhere in Morgantown, Aberdeen, the Quality area, Jetson, any of those even in Muhlenberg County, if it's not that far of a drive, if you're anywhere in Butler County, Morgantown, Muhlenberg County, come to the Ace Hardware in Morgantown this coming Friday, noon until 2. Most of you will be on lunch for those 2 hours or around that time, and that's why we're doing it noon to 2. Come into the Ace Hardware, purchase a weather radio just like the one I've got here that you've been hearing all night. And you can have that at home. It's like an indoor siren. It really is. You know, everybody talks about having outdoor warning sirens in your community. Why not have an indoor siren? That's even better. And there's no guarantee if you live in a community like Bowling Green and Warren County, we've seen it before when the sirens maybe didn't work like they're supposed to, or the battery backup went dead or something, or a malfunction, it can happen. An indoor unit, NOAA weather radio, plug it in, leave it there. It doesn't make a noise until your particular community goes under a warning, and then it will siren. It will send an alarm, and you've got your warning. And even if the power goes off, it's got batteries in it, so it will keep running. Even if you're like in Caneyville right now, the power's out there. Hey, weather radios are still working if you have one with batteries in it. So, Morgantown this Friday, noon to 2, Ace Hardware on 231. I will be there. You come in, purchase your weather radio, and give or take $40 and some change plus tax. Ace Hardware is going to throw in the batteries for it. You get those for free, and then I will program it for free. You just come to my table, and I'll say, where do you live? What county you live in? Whereabouts? Blah, 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 blah. And I'll punch in the code, and you're set. Take it home, plug it in, and leave it. You will never hear this weather radio go off unless there's a warning for you in your particular area. Old weather radios made a bunch of noise, and it would go off for places that are 50 miles away from you, and people hated them and they threw them in the trash can. This one won't be that way. Okay? It won't. It'll just be it'll be there for you in the event that there's an actual warning right over your area or where you live, and then it will sound the alarm. Then you just go over to it, hit a button, listen to what the bulletin is, what the warning is, and then it shuts off. And most people say they forget that they have one because it just stays silent until the next warning comes up and then it goes off for their area. not for a location 40, 50 miles away. It's not going to do that. I can make it so it doesn't do that. So I want every home to have a NOAA weather radio. And starting this Friday is your first opportunity of many more to come. This is only the kickoff. Morgantown, noon to 2, Ace Hardware, Morgantown. After that, we're going to hit Bowling Green, Munfordville, Glasgow, Scottsville, Litchfield, Franklin. I mean, we're going to hit all these different Ace Hardware stores over the next 8 to 10 weeks. So, yeah, that's what you've got to look forward to. If you don't have a weather radio, this will be your opportunity to do that. Okay. The current time is 7:45. No more warnings. Most everything has died down or has moved off to the east, so I'm going to close shop here. Steve, power out at the lake in Allen County. Okay, yeah, I'm not surprised at that either because we saw that kind of go through the Barren River Lake area, and there's probably some trees down and power lines down there as well. But thank you so much again for watching and trusting me with your severe weather coverage. Depend on it every time that there's severe weather. And I think it warrants this kind of coverage, this level of coverage, where I get on what's called the SAM channel. That's YouTube and Facebook. And I go live. Okay. But every morning, not just Monday through Friday, but Saturday and Sunday too, I go live first thing in the morning before I come here to do my morning radio show on Sam 100.7. I go live with a morning weather update, and it's on video just like this. And you can find it the same place, Sam Channel BG on YouTube and on the Sam Facebook page and even my Facebook pages. And then I push them out also with links to watch it on Instagram and Twitter. So I hit all the social media with a morning update on what to expect that day for weather. It's short. I try to keep it as short as possible. Sometimes it's 10 minutes on a day like today when there was a lot to talk about. But usually 5 to 7 minutes of a video that you can watch and you can digest this and you don't have to feel hurried or you don't have to sit and wait for it to come on TV or any. You can just watch it when you want to. And all of that is sponsored. Thank you, Ace Hardware. Woohoo! Big shout out to all the Ace Hardware stores for setting this up and making this happen, and with the weather radios along with it. Again, I'll see you in Morgantown on Friday, noon to 2, for our first inaugural aluminum. I can say that, but I can't say inaugural kickoff of the weather radio tour that's coming to a city near you and an Ace Hardware near you. Have a great evening. I just saw some lightning. No big deal. It's just lightning. No severe. Severe weather threat is done. Just rain now and some rumbles of thunder the rest of the night. God bless you. Thank you for watching. And I'll see you back here on the radio tomorrow morning here at Sam 100.7. Thanks for watching.